Touch Repair, and I'm going to be reviewing the 808 Keychain Camera number 16 with D lens in this video. So let's get into it. Alright, so I ordered it and I got this box. Let's open it up. I've already opened it, but I just wanted you to see kind of how it's packed. It has some little paper in there. It came with this. So now I got this off eBay. I'm not sure if you can see it, but the seller is this Novatium or whatever, and that guy is the one that sells legit cameras. There are a lot of knockoffs, but this one is the real deal. Alright, so now on to what we got in the box. So of course we got the camera itself in a nice little package. I'll get to that in a second. Also we have Velcro and a keychain, so that makes sense, so you can attach it to stuff easily. You have your video out cable, which connects to the USB. I'll explain that in a second. Basically, the camera has a USB plug that you plug it into, and then from that you can then plug in your video like that, and so you can get your video out, and then you can also power it through these. I chose to do a method a little bit lighter than this by taking out the battery and plugging a battery in from my quadcopter right into it, but I'll show you that later in a second as well. But these cables are really useful if you're going to be flying with a big quadcopter that's going to lift a lot of load, but I'm doing a micro one, so I tried to get as little weight as possible. But basically, he gives you cables to get video out and to power it without needing to solder anything or whatever. So these are basically, they're really useful if you don't want to solder anything and you can carry a lot of load. But alright, so those are useful. Now let's get to the actual camera. Now you can tell this is number 16. I've opened mine up, so the sticker is broken, the seal. Let me get it to focus. There you go. But you can see that it says number 16 right there. And so if it doesn't have that seal, then you know it's not a legit one. Some of them say like number 3 or number 6, or I don't know. This one's number 16, so this is the 720p, 30 frames per second. Records really well. I like the quality on this one. It does really good. Also, you can see that it has the wide-angle lens, fisheye lens, 120 degrees. That is super nice. It's been really handy for the little videos that I've done. You have your LED indicator, turns on, changes modes, and starts and stops recording or takes pictures. You have your USB plug, like I was talking about. This guy right here plugs into that. And then you have your reset button, so if you mess up your settings on the camera, as far as there's a lot of different modes that you can change in this, you can click it in there and reset it. And then your micro SD slot. Another really cool feature about this camera is that you can be flying and having a video out with this cable, then also recording the video that you're flying with. So you can be doing FPV, and then when you're done flying, you have a recorded history of what you've done. So that's pretty cool. During my first few test flights, I just took a rubber band and wrapped it around this into the main body of the quadcopter and was flying around and crashing, and this thing did quite well. I was kind of worried about the lens poking out a little bit, and it comes with a lens cap. I forgot to mention that. It comes with a lens cap, a nice rubber one that plugs on, but I lost that like the first time I took this out and recorded some stuff, so I think it'll be okay. I'm trying to be careful with when I'm transporting it that I don't scratch the lens or anything, but yeah, it's a really durable case if you leave it in the case. The only thing that I see possibly breaking is maybe the lens. You could scratch it, but again, that's even held in there pretty good. So I mean, altogether, this is a pretty durable little camera. It's light and it records 720p, really good video. It has really good light and auto dark balancing, and it comes with, or it doesn't come with, but you can download for free online from the website that I'll put a link down below. The company put out some software where you can go in, plug it into USB, hook it up to your computer, and change the settings, and then download the new settings to this, as far as random things like FPS or frames per second, and you can change the auto balance as far as light and dark. You can change whether or not it turns on automatically, starts recording, or the 180 flip of the video, so no matter how you mount it, you can have the video saved in the orientation that you can view it easily. Lots of cool settings. You can really dig down and tweak this pretty good, and then save it to this and through your computer and run it. And that's a really cool piece of software that comes free. Just download from the internet from the company that makes this. So now I'm going to show you kind of the operation of turning it on and off, recording, and all that stuff. Alright, I forgot to mention that when you buy it, it also comes with a B USB type charging cord, and for getting data out of this, I forgot to have that out when I opened the box, so I apologize, but it does come with a cord that you can plug it in and go from this just to USB to your computer. Now, I have the battery out of the case right now, so the way I'm going to power it is just by leaving it plugged in USB. So usually when you plug it in, the batteries in, this light will turn green, showing that it's charging, and when it's done charging, the green light turns off. But it's not doing that right now, but you can expect that in yours. So to turn it on, also I have a micro SD card. I have a Series 4, see if I can get it to focus on this. And I've heard that if you get a 4, that's probably not fast enough to record 720p. And I've been doing it, I haven't had any problems, but they recommend at least a 6 or higher. They said that a 10 isn't necessary, so I think a 6 is your sweet spot. You want the contacts facing up, and you put that in the slot like that, and click it in like that. Okay, so to turn the camera on, you're going to push and hold this button here. It's going to blink a little bit, and once it turns like that, you let go, and it's on. And you push the top button to start recording. And I set it in the settings that it will slowly blink. Now that's again something that you can change, something that isn't standard, but again there's lots of options, you can tweak stuff. So right now I'm recording video, and then to stop the video recording you can just click the top button again, and it goes solid. And then to take pictures, you push once, turns to a red LED, and then to take the picture you click it and it goes back. So to change modes you push the bottom one, and then to activate whatever in that mode you want to do you click the top one. To go back to recording you click it again, it goes back to yellow, and then you can click it again and it'll start recording. And then to stop recording click that, and then if you want to turn it off you just push and hold the bottom one. And see how it's flashing a little bit and then turns off and you're done. Now one thing that's kind of confusing is if you just push it like that, it blinks red and then it turns off. That means it's not turned on. It's just saying that the button was pushed but it's not going to turn on. You get to turn it on, you actually have to push and hold. Keep holding, and then once it turns yellow then you can let go. If you're curious how to take this apart, I'll show you that in this part of the video. So you're going to flip it over, and then in these two holes are two tiny Phillips head screws. Unscrew that one. Unscrew that one. And the case should start coming apart. Now you're going to want to hinge it out like this. The hinge is up here, so you're going to want to kind of rock it and bring it up this way, like that. And that piece goes there, and then there's 3 more screws, one here, and one here. So you're going to have to undo those to get the board off. Alright, then the board should just kind of come out. Now the 2 buttons here, that's a loose piece, so that can fall out if you're not careful, so just keep track of that. And then the rest of this is all one board. And you can see here's the camera lens, the sensor, the ribbon cable, and then the connector here. You can pop that up and then exchange different lenses, but I have the D lens, so I think in my opinion that's the best one, so I won't be changing it out unless I break it or scratch it. But even then I think they're like $8 to get a new one, so it's kind of cool to be able to take it all apart, and if you break the lens you can just pop a new one and you don't have to buy a whole new camera. Micro SD slot there. There's a reset switch. There's your USB plug. That's where the battery normally plugs in. And if, as you saw in the pictures, I unplugged it, and then in this, in my situation, I'm currently using this quadcopter. I soldered in a plug that plugs in and it goes to the main battery in the bottom. So that way I only need to carry around one battery. And yes, I know that sometimes causes interference with the motors, but in my case, I think I tried to route the wires to this not where they were close to the motor wires, and there's not really any interference from running off one battery, and lets me reduce the weight quite a bit, so that's cool. As you can see here, I put the camera and an SD card on a scale, and that weighed at about 21 grams. So that wasn't too bad, but then when I split everything apart and pulled the battery and case off and just used the board, that brought it down to around 9 grams. So that was a significant weight savings right there. As you can see in this, I cut the leads from the battery and soldered it directly to the main board so that I could just use the battery off the quadcopter. Alright, so in summary, yeah, this is a great little camera. It's light, it takes good quality video, it has good white and dark balancing, it's durable, it's really robust, it works really well. I think I paid close to $49 or $50 for it, and it's been a crazy fun little experiment to send it up in my quadcopter and spin around and get some aerial views of stuff. Really easy to plug into my computer, and I can pull stuff out of the card without even having to get the card out. And I eventually plan on doing some FPV with it, so I'll plug in a transmitter into this and get some live video out and send it back. But really versatile. You can do a lot of stuff with this. You can use it on pretty much anything. So I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, just give me a comment down below, and I'll do my best to answer it. And hopefully this encourages you to get one and experiment and have some fun yourself. Alright, thanks.